Hello, everyone, and welcome again to the digital storytelling training into part two. Now is digital storytelling. What is digital storytelling? All right, so our project across the north is based on this topic. We are creating a digital storytelling, using digital storytelling techniques to create stories where we can mobilize, shed light, and raise awareness about some topics. But what is digital storytelling? In this part, we will go into the definition of digital storytelling, elements of digital storytellings, types of storytellings or digital storytellings, and the 5 steps to create any digital story. Now, this course or this part is shrinked a little bit into 5 steps, but I managed to cover all the steps that you need to know about digital storytelling or creating a digital story into these 5 stories. And let's dive in. So, what is digital storytelling? You will have to ask also the participants to kind of mobilize again their brain. What's digital storytelling? So you need to know, or you need to see what they know about digital storytelling, how much they know about it. Ask them what is digital storytelling and wait for answers. Mobilize them a little bit, extract the definition of digital storytelling again from their answers, and then you go into definition of digital storytelling. Well, this is a bit long definition, but it have everything you need to know about it. You don't have to read it out loud for them, but you can just tell them about what is digital storytelling in very brief. Well, basically, then digital storytelling is stories being told by using multimedia like images, audio, videos, and machines like computers and phones to create them. That's basically it. So the story, focus with me. So it is a story and then used to be told by multimedia, images, videos, all together, put together, and then it's created digital storytelling. So you didn't miss the part of stories. Before creating a digital storytelling, you still have story, right? You need to go through creating story, and that's in part one of the training. You need to remember what's your story about, put the settings, characters, plot or conflict, plot or climax, and then the conflict between the characters, society. Remember that training. You need to create your story and then you turn it into digital storytelling. All right, how we do that? What's the elements of digital storytelling? So this is being taken by, I took it from the Center of Digital Storytellings in Houston University, actually, University of Houston in the US. And they see that 7 elements makes the digital storytelling. What are these elements? So the point of view, what's the main point of the story and what is the perspective of the author or the storyteller somehow? This is a very important point. All of them are very important points, but this one is, it immediately tells the audience what are you talking about. Second element is a dramatic question. This is a key question that keeps the viewer's attention and will be answered by the end of the story. Remember, your story is going into the interval, right? Remember that. So there is questions on the climax and problems that need to be answered. We don't know it, but that keeps the audience attention always with you, and that's what makes the good story is a good story. Then emotional content. Element number 3, serious issues that comes alive in a personal and powerful way and comes to connects the story, to the audience somehow. Emotions is always good into any stories, because maybe the events that happen to you in a story, it's not common to anybody else, but how it feels, believe me, it is common. We all feel the same way. We all love, we all feel sad, we all feel motivated at some point, so we know how does it feel. Once you include these emotions, the emotional content, it allows you to connect with the audience. The gift of your voice, this is a way to personalize the story. Every story is a unique story. and it has like a fingerprint. It has something special in it and unique. So personalize this, make it relatable to you, make it you in the somehow in the center of it somehow. And this is how the audience will understand the context. Then the power of soundtrack. Imagine any movies or videos or podcasts or whatever way of using this digital storytelling techniques. If there's no sound effects, you get a little bit bored, maybe, right? You get a little bit detached from the story somehow, especially movies. Like if you analyze a movie, a scene of a movie, and just see the amount of sound effects they use and the music in the background, otherwise a scene will not make you actually interact or emotional in a way. But sound effects always makes emotions, and somehow it's so powerful. Economy, and here is not money, but we're talking about the economy using just enough content to tell the story without overloading the viewer. You don't want to tell a lot, right? You don't want them to feel so bored somehow, but you're still telling them enough to understand and to do what you want them to do from your story. And then pacing. This is the rhythm of the story and how slowly or quickly it progress somehow. Depends, I think, on the type of the story that you're doing. If you're doing a movie, of course, you will not finish, like, you will not go into the interval in the first 5 minutes of the movie. Otherwise, the rest of the movie, what you're going to do? But if you're making, for example, a short video to tell something, here you need to think about the interval so fast. All right, then we go into the three types of digital storytellings, which is personal narratives, historical documentaries, and content area stories. I think in your project, you are not going to use historical documentaries, you are not going to make content area stories, although the three of them are connected in a way or another. But in your project, you're going to be focusing, I guess, mostly on personal narratives. But just for the sake of knowledge, we're going to go through them so fast. So digital stories that is personal narratives. This is mostly digital storytelling that focus on your narrative as a person, events that happen to you as a person, stories that helps us find the meaning in a place we lived in, or a food that we ate, or friendship that we found, or a trip to somewhere that we liked and somehow changed our life, or I don't know, a lot of personal stuff that didn't happen to somebody else, but it's for you as a fingerprint. And I have an example here. There's, of course, you can see the links for another examples, but I will show you also an example to first digital story that is not video made. It's actually, as you can see it here. All right, so it is a storytelling made by this website called Shorthand. They are awesome, actually. And they are talking about a journey in the dark, a boy's struggle to stay in school in Uganda. See the way they did it? It's not video, actually. They just made graphics and text. And this is a personal story about this person somehow. And sharing, of course, there is a struggles, there is a bigger meanings behind it, but somehow it is personal. They tell you the story, they put some visuals, as you can see. They choose some momentums of what he represent himself in or whatever, and then they tell you the whole story. Of course, they shed light on everything, and then you see more information about the topic itself. Another type of personal reflections or personal narratives. There is this website. I put the link in the PDF where you can find a lot of digital storytelling examples of stories, and then you can find a lot of categories here. There is the art category, there is the history category, language and arts, and a lot of categories. Now we are in the personal reflection category. You can find many stories here which will inspire you to look at and understand how is the narrative of personal digital storytelling is being perceived. All right. Let me share with you again the introduction. All right. Then we talked about digital stories as a personal narratives. We move on to digital stories as the examine of a historical event. This is more like a documentary, more like you are conducting a big research, you know, and going and gathering a lot of information, making a lot of questions, finding a lot of answers, and putting them in a story. Maybe you follow one person's life somehow to shed light on a bigger perspective and bigger conflicts, but it needs a lot of researches, it needs a lot of educational information, and it serves educational purpose. Again, there is a link here, and on the website that I showed you, you can find all these examples about history. Then we go to digital stories as to inform or to instruct. This is more scientific, this is more educational somehow, and it comes like a documentary about space or coronavirus vaccine or many things that need to educate you. The purpose of it has a lot of information, but big dry information, so they need to make it in easy way, easy digestible way, so they put it in this kind of storytelling. All right, then we know what kind of digital stories there: the personal, the historical, and the informative or educational. Of course, you can say that the educational and historical are related to each other because the historical are being educational, but it's two different educations or knowledge we are talking about in this. After knowing this, and of course focusing again on the personal, because you in your project gonna be using the personal digital storytelling narratives, so you will be telling your story and how things are related to you in your life and all these kind of stuff. We will go into how to make a digital story. What are the elements? What's the process of making a digital story telling? There's 5 steps to create a digital story telling. Step number 1, you need to choose a topic and write a script. Step number 2, collect digital resources. Step number 3, select content and develop a storyboard. Step number 4, import, record, finalize. Step number 5, share your story. We will go into each step and dive deep and talk about it in a moment. Step number 1, this is mostly choose a topic and write script. Don't be afraid, it's not big things. You're gonna be, you will just do fine with this. Step number 1 is very important. It's the base of digital storytelling. Here, you are choosing your topic. You are choosing what are you going to talk about? What's my theme of the story? I cannot develop a digital story without a theme or without a topic. I cannot start filming and getting data and putting things together or making drawings or taking pictures, and they don't know what I'm going to talk about. So step number 1 is very important, choosing the topic, and then you go into writing script. After choosing your topic, you will have to write script, and I really recommend that you write script, or at least you put like a very clear guideline or base that you will know what you're going to talk about or what you're going to say in your video. Let me show you. There is, of course, actually something can help you to define your topic and what you're going to talk about and what topic to choose and how to write script is to look into other examples. The website that I put before on the link before here, It has many stories that will inspire you. There is these two campaigns as well with the links over here. I recommend you to look at them because somehow they know how to define their team, their topic, and things. But right now, I'm going to show you a video that we made, but after I go into the script that we made at Crossing Borders organization, actually, that fits into digital storytelling, fits into writing the script, choosing the topic, and doing all this kind of stuff. The 5 steps, remember, that we talked about. But here, this is 2 campaigns for you. You can take a look at them. It will inspire you to do that. Writing script is not difficult, but it's not also easy, right? So I put some steps for you, or tips, sorry, where you can look at them while writing script that will help you to write a really good script. After you selected the topic of your story, you need directly to go into writing script, and this script will define how your video or how your digital storytelling will look like. Tip number 1, keep it small and focused. Do not get distracted with a lot of information, or do not feel like, oh, I have to mention this and that and that and that, and how I'm gonna put them all together. Focus on the topic that you want and keep it small. You don't have to make it a very big. You are not writing a script for a cinematic movie. You are writing it for a digital story, which is only going to be about 3 to 5 minutes long for you, right? About you, focusing on specific problem that you think it's important and you wanted to shed light on. So keep it small and keep it focused on this problem. Tip number 2, make it personal. Your digital story is unique. It's your story, huh? We are talking also about personal stories here. We are focusing on that part. It is your story and your audience want to hear it from your perspective. So include a lot of emotions and the elements. Remember the elements. Include a lot of emotions in your story. Include a lot of experiences. How that makes you feel, because people will relate to this to you. And of course, know the story arc. This is, you don't need to read all of this. We talked about it also before. The story arc, which is the interval of the story. Know that, because that's important. The script will show how your story was going normal, everything is fine, and then it started to go to the climax, and then everything solved when, the end is where the conflict is resolved. Will the new invention, for example, solve the issue? Or will the couple get married? Or what happened after the medical treatment? All these kind of small examples that will come. This is about the interval. So remember, when you're writing the script, you need to think about the first part of the storytelling training we did about the interval of the story. And then visualize your story. We're talking about digital storytelling here. Of course, there's many types of digital storytelling. You can either use podcast, you can use, as we saw, the visualizing caricature stuff and then writing story next to it. But the most reaching elements in here is visualizing. So once you visualize your story, you're gonna reach out much more people and you're gonna make it much more clear. What you need to do is get pictures related to your story, arrange and place them on a table, write descriptions, and this of course will take us into storyboard later on in step. But that will help you to write the script, because somehow maybe you will get lost with the words somehow, but you will have pictures that will help you to visualize and finish your script in front of you. And tip number 5, which is the last tip, is start drafting now. How you can do that, how we can start drafting now. Let's do an activity. Get a piece of paper and a pen here and put a timer. Set your timer to 10 minutes and start writing. So a piece of paper with the pen, write anything for 10 minutes, put a timer, anything that comes to your mind. Do not stop at all. Maybe they are not related at all. Maybe you're writing and do not think. First thing comes to your mind, laptop, coffee, everything, and start filling all these papers. When you stop writing, either when the timer is went off or when your paper is full on the two sides somehow. So, well, now easily you have a draft. It's not perfect draft, but you have a draft. You have ideas on a paper, maybe not related to each other. Maybe it needs still a lot of work, for example. It needs a lot of organizing, but you have ideas on a paper. It always helps you to ask your friends around. If you are a storytellers group, ask your friends, sit in a circle somehow and ask, make a constructive criticism. Go through the paper together in the training somehow. And of course, sharing is optional again, but have people sharing what did they write on their paper or most of what did they write, and somehow try to put them in pairs where they can help each other to find the story in this draft. All right, then we go into step number 2, which is collect digital resources. Okay, you put the script. I assume you made the script. You made, you have a topic. You made your script. You are ready. You need to gather all these digital resources to make it into digital storytelling. Good news for you. There is this website. It's called Creative Commons, and let me share with you the website. Creative Commons. It is this website, as you can see here. It allows you to have a lot of graphics, a lot of pictures, a lot of digital materials for free and without any logo or watermark on it. But under one condition, you need always to give copyright. So sign up here if you want. This is one of the resources. Open access to knowledge is critical, especially during a global health emergency, as they say. So they make it much more easier to access everything you want to. Really, check it out. There is it's free. It's for free. I think there is a paid version of it, but you don't need that. So it is for free. You get everything you need, from graphics, pictures, about any topic you want, for free, without any watermark on it, in a very high resolution as well. But all what you need to do is to give copyright. You need always, when you use a picture, just say by somebody who used it. All right, let me share my screen with you again to the presentation. So this is, you are in the part of collecting these images and photographs and maps and maybe videos, maybe so you put your script and you already have an idea what your story gonna look like and what you're gonna talk about. Maybe you will go and film yourself some ideas. Maybe you will film some yourself speaking. Maybe you will get some audio. Maybe you will get some, all these digital materials that you want to use. I don't know. For example, I'm gonna talk about me getting up and coming here to the office and making this for you, right? This training, for example, or filming this. I would say that my script, of course, I will put it, and I had problem that I missed the train, and I will try to make a climax of this storytelling. I will put the setting for you. I will make the script, waking up in my place where I live, blah, blah, blah. Then went to the station. I missed the train. I went to the bus because the bus is close to, but I also missed the bus. More problems, but then I arrived here and I made this. How I can start gathering all these data as digital resources? I either can go to this website and get all the images I want and make set of images following my story, or I can start film, for example, myself getting up from home, or walking down the stairs, going to the station, I don't know, seeing the train missing and running, and I was running, like, you know, filming the video. I can be as much as creative as I want here, and I can include any digital tools that I want in here. After getting these digital resources, you need to select and develop a storyboard. Well, don't panic here. This is actually the storyboard thing It is mostly, and we're gonna come into defining what is a storyboard, but the whole step three, is mostly for professional storytellers and people who works on advertisements, people who works on movies. Uh, I don't think you need it a lot in your work, but it is good to know it, and it's good to maybe do it because it will help you somehow break down how is the scenes going into your digital storytelling. But before that, while you are gathering all the digital materials, you of course need some sounds and some music and maybe sound effects, as we talked about, because sound effects always attract things. For example, if you're talking about missing the train and like running, maybe you get sound effect of somebody, heavily breathing because of the running, and then a sound of a train that just passed. Sound effects makes it more real, makes the story more relatable somehow. And good news for you. This epidemic sound and Zapsplat. Those are two websites that have millions, literally like many, many, many sound effects for free without any, what do you say, voiceover logo on recorded on them somehow. So check those out for any sound effect you want while you are creating your video. You can find the music, you can find sound effects like trains, cats, whatever sound effect you want. But then after defining your topic, and making a script, and then starting gathering all the digital data, so you have script, you know what you're going to talk about, you have script, and you have all the images and the videos and the sounds you want to, then you need to make storyboard. And this storyboard is, as I mentioned, is not very, very important in this part in your project, because you are not making advertisements or stuff. But let's just check what is a storyboard. Storyboard is basically, it looks like this, as you can see it here in the presentation. It is written or a graphical overview of the elements that you plan to include in the digital story that you are going to create. All right, let's take my story again. Waking up and missing the train, but made it to the office, and I start recording this video. Right. Scene one, for example, basically you will put the scenes that you will see your story running through. For example, scene one, maybe me getting up from the bed, and maybe a clock here that showing I'm late or whatever, and uh, this is me going out from the house, trying to be rushed or something like that. Me not making it to the train. It helps you to put these storyboards, because then you can actually make somehow plan. It is planning your video somehow, and what scenes it's important for you to show in this. It can be graphics, it can be only text if you want to make it only text, but always graphics makes your planning much easier. Good news for you again. There is this website. It's called storyboardthat.com. I think I opened it here. Let me see if I opened it for you here. Ready? Yes. Storyboard That. This website, it's also for free. There is a free version of it that you can do many, many, many things that you want. It says best for light usage. Of course, if you need to go more professional, like movies, for teachers, a lot of things, you can pay for it, but you don't need to, because the free version works perfectly. And they have videos inside showing you how to work on it. So that's easy. You can just watch the video and like the demo, and they will show you how to. It's very easy. It has all the graphics that you can see. You don't need to draw anything. You just drag and drop, and you have the possibility to change the motions and all these kind of things. This is only if you would like to make a storyboard, but you don't have to make a storyboard. It's just, as I mentioned, it helps you planning, but it's okay if you don't do it. All right, then you have your topic, right? You have the script, you have videos and the audio materials. You get your music and audio or whatever you want, and now you just need to put them all together. And this is the important part: how to make them all together and put them all together. Uh, Luckily, of course, I mean, you can follow these instructions here, but I'm gonna just tell you about some stuff. There's this video editing. If you're having an iPhone, iMovie works perfectly and works exactly what you want. And I'm sure you all are aware about iMovie. You just drag and drop the pictures that you want, the videos that you want, and you can add text on them. Very easy templates, you can put them. You want to go a little bit more professional, there is Final Cut Pro. This is cost a little bit, but you can get free version of it, I guess, and you can work on it. It's also very easy. And this is also Premiere, Adobe Premiere, that helps you to create videos and do all this kind of stuff. But the good news, there is something called WeVideo. It's an online editing platform, video editing platform that I'm gonna share with you here. I created an account on it here. It's called WeVideo. You go to WeVideo and subscribe or create an account. Easy, very easy, because you can just do it with the Facebook login, and you get to be ready to work on your videos. All what you want to do is, drag and drop, drag and drop. You get your video, you make ad, you put your video here, and pictures, whatever you want. There is text. There is hundred of, like, many text displays, for example. All this, how it works. You can make animation and you can just drag and drop it there, and you can edit the text that you want, and you can write whatever you want on it, the text. You can put it wherever you want. You can choose the fonts of it, wherever you want in it. You can add some audio. Look how many audio templates are here, for example. There is many audio templates. So you can use this, you can use backgrounds, transitions, there is many animations. Just try to play with it. It's very easy. You can just drag and drop your things, just align them in the way that you want. You can make them longer, you can make them shorter, to stay for a long time, to stay for a short time, to do all this kind of stuff, and that would be great. All right, that's not very difficult. There is also demo on YouTube. If you search WeVideo demo, they show you how to work on it as well, and it's gonna be very easy. All right, then you put all your materials together, you finalize them, you see how you're gonna work on the things. Of course, you export it, you show it to somebody, maybe take somebody's opinion and work on it. And then the final step would be sharing this story. Of course, you get all the social media now. You can share, if it's a podcast, you share podcast, YouTube for videos, and Vimeo. You share all these social media. Of course, you know about it, and you are ready to go with your story, and you're ready to reach the world in your story. Of course, this is another training, is called campaigning, but just be careful about the way you share, be careful your content, be careful to give copyright if you're using something. All these kind of stuff you need to look into. I have this resource for you. It's called Hack Your Story. It's literally, and let me go to it. Well, it is literally in a toolbox. All right, here it is. It is a toolbox that made for digital storytelling or digital storytellers and journalists that have everything you need for creating a digital story. If you're looking for audience, it tells you what audience. Multimedia, it has pictures, audios, It has free versions, it have paid versions. It collects all the applications in the world that works on this. Infographics, for example, it puts you all the, for example, if you press on infographics, it gives you all the applications and websites that helps you to work infographics. Some of them for free, some of them are paid, some of them are free, but then if you need to upgrade, you can upgrade. You can find whatever you want in here. If you want to work on video editing or finding a video as well, if you want to work on mapping, data, audio, photos, social media, whatever you want, check it out. I'm sure it's going to help you a lot in your process of creating digital storytelling. All right. For here, I think I'm done with the training. I hope you liked the training and I hope you learned something. Please focus on the elements of the story while you're writing your script, and focus on the 5 steps on the digital storytelling while creating your digital story. And please visit this website and check all these tools. I will leave you for now then. Bye bye.